All right, let's give the other stream a second here to get up and running. Go over the setups from today, plays from today. Some pretty decent ones, but want to kind of reiterate what we talked about yesterday as well, as far as attitude and aggressiveness towards the current environment and the current quality of trades that we have. So we'll definitely do that. All right. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Got about 1 minute until the close. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for December 8th, 2021. SPY up 0.29, IWM up 0.73. I believe the IWM was up the most today. Yeah, 0.44 for the Qs. Now we came into today bullish on the Qs and SPY, and acknowledge the more that we base here, the more bullish. What did we do today? We just based basically up here at the top. Okay, so going into tomorrow, should be no surprise that we will be bullish on the Qs, SPY, and IWM. Hourly is now in an uptrend. You know, we based here all day. We didn't get a pullback. All right, so still going to be bullish going into tomorrow. We still have this resistance up to the left, so I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe got a retest of the bottom of the base or something like that before getting a breakout with decent follow through. The thing that we noted on the larger time frames here is that weekly buy setup that's in play here on the Qs and SPY. All right, so uptrend continuing there in the market. All right, there is the close. All right, let's go over the plays from today. I want to do what I did yesterday, which is also go over some plays that either didn't trigger or didn't set up right. Okay, because kind of want to just show you what the process is and really kind of get to the point that I'm trying to make today, which is that having a little bit of a wait and see and getting more information, I think is still the right approach. That lends itself also to what I said yesterday, quality over quantity. Okay, so today I really like the VRA and the S. Those were my two favorite gap downs, and then my two favorite gap ups were the PSFE and the EFOI. Okay, so let's start with the gap downs. Okay, market wasn't really gapping this morning. Okay, not really doing much, but VRA. All right, now VRA ended up opening late, I think. Yeah, I think it didn't open till the second bar there. And this had a good amount of spread. I think 20 cents spread, which is pretty significant for an $8 stock. Okay, so pretty sloppy here. And so you could have played this, I think, on this bar right here, which was really the third bar, because this first bar I don't think it was open. But we can also call it the fourth bar. Yeah, you could play it once it breaks underneath that bar, so you can play it there. But look how sloppy this is, right? A lot of back and forth, a lot of, testing of new range here. Finally kind of sets up here right around the whole number and then doesn't trigger, okay? And then from there runs up, all right? So this kind of reminds me of the AZN that we kind of went over yesterday. Tried to set up, look good a couple times, never quite set up quite right. This one didn't really trigger, and then got the hard rally. Now let's take a look at the S. So no play there. S on this, the only play that I considered was a little bit of a break right there. You can see the little bit of the base. Again, a lot of sloppiness up here at the open. Okay, and actually tried to start an uptrend. Now what kept me out of that, playing that base, is that the daily wasn't cleared. Okay, the low of that bar is 43 exactly. The low of that bar is 43.04. So I hadn't gotten through the whole number. So no play. Could it have broken through and then kept on going? Yes, that's possible, but I want to wait. I want to wait till I have that confirmation. I could miss out, but I just have to accept that, right? That I might miss out, but I don't want to be taking aggressive plays just in the hope that they get going, right? Because then I'm going to start taking a lot of low quality plays and constantly telling myself, well, what if it works? I don't want to miss out. That's not the right approach. That's not how we should be thinking, okay? We want to play good plays, right? High quality plays. All right, now on to the PSFE. PSFE ended up being my only play today, the PSFE. And this, and like I said, the EFOI were kind of my favorite. Now, the EFOI ended up being a little bit too wild for me, and I kind of knew that would probably be the case because this averages maybe 100,000 shares, maybe less over the past month. Okay. Now, PSFE can run a little bit thin at times also. I guess no, not really. Just a little bit jumpy, I guess. But not thin, okay? Now, what did I want to see out of the PSFI? I like the gap. The gap, we are gapping over. Little bit of a downtrend that we had and over this base, okay? So I do like that. Gap is decent enough, all right? Now, on the 1 minute here, okay, we came in initially, okay? We did get a break above this base here, okay? But as you know, if you've been watching the market wrap, I don't like these low of the day bases, okay? It's been basing more towards the bottom, so I can't play that. Now, was I aware of it? Did it cross my mind that what if I get in here when that's the entry and it never looks back after that and I'll miss it if I don't play this? Yeah, of course, I was aware, but I have to try to execute my plan and wait for the right setup. And this just isn't my setup, okay? These low of the day base like this. So, took off first. Was waiting for an entry, didn't get it, just kept on going, okay? Now we are starting to get a buy setup, starting to get a pullback, okay? That pullback turns into a base. Now I have an entry, okay? Now this initial pullback, yes, this was okay to play right here, maybe on the trigger of that buy setup. I thought it was a little bit too shallow, and you can see the volume came in here at the top, so a little bit indicative of kind of a climactic type of top, okay? So that is the PSFE. Turns into a nice base there. So entry right over that, okay? Targets, I was looking for around 420 and then 450, okay? Based on the daily. All right, so then we got this pullback, and I did add to it on the 2 minute here. There was a 2 minute buy setup, and I went ahead and added. I didn't get to add much because it wasn't up that much, and then didn't get to raise the stop very much. I think this originally I was using like 90, and then I got to raise it to like 93. So it didn't really give me much chance to add, okay? But I had to be patient. Eventually got to target here. We got to 426 or something. I think I offered out at like 418, got some out, and then trailed kind of the rest as we got closer to 430. Okay, and then the last piece I was in it till end of day because hourly didn't ever trail. Okay, so just moving it up throughout the day, okay, on the PSFE. So you can see here, it definitely took some patience to get my entry. Now, if I had just jumped in, fine, that would have worked out. But what I'm seeing is, especially at the open, a lot of these plays, especially the aggressive plays, are also not working, not really following through. We looked at kind of the VRA and the S, which had aggressive types of entries, but then wouldn't have really worked. And then EFOI, if you said, well, I don't care if it's wild, I'm just going to play it because what if it's a big winner, then you're not going to get good fills and you're probably not going to have a nice play. Okay. And then really nice play here from Sammy on the PLAB. Now, I thought this was probably a little bit too late into the day, but I mean, look at that follow through. Here's the base breakout on the PLAB, and the daily's good. What was the problem with the S? We didn't clear the support on the gap ups. We want them to clear resistance, and that is very cleared of resistance. So really kind of a problem-free trade. Late day breakout. We talked about late day breakdown. I think just yesterday or maybe Monday. All right, that's the late day breakout. 15-minute catches up here. And then you can see it changes angle, spends the whole day trying to catch up to the gap. Then once it changes angle, off it goes, right? Off the 15 there. Okay, so nice call on the PLAB. I think it went probably almost 3 Rs on that. Okay, so really, really nice. All right, so, I think it's okay to really wait for good quality setups. We may miss some here and there. That's going to happen any day, okay? But especially right now, getting more information, getting as good of a setup as we can, as perfect of a setup, I think is the way to go. If you're not taking a lot of trades, I think that's completely fine. Now, if you're doing really well, then yeah, pedal to the metal, keep on at it. But from what I'm seeing, there are also a lot of sloppiness, a lot of thin things, a lot of spready things. I thought a lot of the problem with a lot of this morning's gap ups were that they were just really spready and really wild. Okay, and the PLAB actually was pretty wild in the morning. You can see kind of after that volatility wears off, it got a little bit better. So another reason to be a little bit more patient on these, right? Everybody loves to trade the open, make money quick right at the open, but it goes both ways. You can easily start off with a really bad morning, okay? And then everyone feels like, well, maybe the afternoon's boring, or you feel like maybe you're honest and you think I don't have the patience to even wait that long till there's a good setup. Well, it's a good time to kind of practice that, because I really think that's the right thing to do. That's really kind of what I've been trying to do for the last few weeks since earnings season wound down. It's really kept me out of trouble, and still, even if you're patient, you can still find some big winners. Okay. All right. I hope you did well today. We'll be back at it tomorrow, and I'll talk to you then. Have a good evening.